Well, it started as a regular day at the laundromat, but then it turned into a very scary situation. A woman came face to face with a man with a bat before two men took him down, and a security camera captured it all. ABC 24's Ezekiel Telemaco joins us now. Ezekiel, you talked exclusively with the victim and the customers who came to her rescue. Is that right?
Yep. So it's a pretty crazy story, honestly. And this happened at Ellie's Laundromat on South Pauline Street. And it started when workers banned a man from the property. And then it took a violent turn when he attempted to come back.
I was drying and washing his clothes. And he told me that I didn't even be on my phone. And I was like, huh? I didn't understand what he was saying at first because I didn't hear him. So I was like, huh? And he was like, you don't need to be on your phone. And I was like, why not? He was like, because he was washing his clothes or something. And I was like, okay. And then he had left.
Hendricks says she thought that was the end of it, but minutes later, police say Joseph Lee came back, and this time he was yelling at customers and swinging an orange baseball bat. That's when two customers, Donald Young and Reginald Harris, stepped in.
I was glad I was able to hold him down instead of shoot him, because we have enough of that going on in the city, and I think it portrays the city in a negative light.
Harris says he never came to the laundromat expecting to be a hero, but he thinks it's everyone's responsibility to help each other.
I didn't come in here to be a hero. I came here to wash clothes. But I think you need to interact where you see a need. And it's everybody's job to do that in the community. That's what made Memphis what it was.
And while many are calling him courageous, Harris says his heart is with both the victim and the suspect.
You know, a lot of people say, well, you know, he's this, he's that. But you know what? My heart goes out to him, too, because I don't want to read about him dead, and I don't want to read about her dead either. I'm tired of seeing that go on in our city. And like I said, you know, we can talk about it or we can do something about it.
Harris says he hopes this moment helps remind people of what Memphis used to stand for.
Back in the day, if they saw you, you know what I'm saying, people intervened. And they even told your parents. There was a thing called pride. There was a thing called morality. And I think that needs to return back to this city.
Yeah, and because of these heroic acts, Hendricks wasn't hurt, and Leak is being held at the Shelby County Jail on aggravated assault, criminal trespass, and burglary charges.
Yeah, it's definitely good that those customers had those quick thinking to step in and save the situation. Now, I do want to ask you, how long did it take for the police to get there?
Yeah, according to the victim that I spoke to, about 8 minutes, which is a pretty long time. So they did apprehend him, and they were able to hold him down until the police came and had their tasers out, and, you know, thank God, put him away.
Yeah, 8 minutes is definitely a good response time, but 8 minutes can feel like a long time when you're in a compromising situation like that.
Absolutely.
All right, great reporting, Ezekiel. Thank you.
A woman accused of killing a South Fulton police officer while driving drunk was denied bond this morning. The Fulton County judge saying in court today, in his 20 years on the bench, this is the saddest case he's seen. Our Chase Howell was in court today as family members spoke out ahead of the ruling.
Love you, my son.
Inside Fulton County Courtroom 5E, the family of South Fulton Police Captain Elio Garcia III begged the judge not to give bond to the woman accused of killing him.
She was drunk, 98 miles an hour, and killed a human being. Killed my son, Your Honor.
That's Elio Garcia Jr., the father of Captain Garcia, and behind him is Santoria McLean, the woman accused of killing Garcia in a head-on collision while allegedly driving drunk.
We lost our first grandson, my first grandson. And what's happening is this is like a deja vu for my wife and for myself. We're reliving an accident that my son had.
Close to a dozen family and friends were in the courtroom during Thursday's hearing, including Eliana Garcia, Elio's wife.
I'm sorry, can you read this for me?
While Eliana was too emotional to give her statement, I caught up with her outside. Now, this is the third time that you've seen Miss McLean. Each time that you see her, what feelings does that invoke?
Pain. My heart is broken more. I start thinking of April 15 when everything happened. It's just reliving everything. There's just no closure at the moment.
And I've seen so much sadness, grief, and tragedy in this room, and nothing happy ever happens in here. And this is probably the saddest case that I've had.
And while the judge seemed to have his mind made up, her attorney had the opportunity to change his mind.
We believe that the accident took place on the center median, and because that was misrepresented in the police report and in the warrants, that any other evidence in this case could be subject to a misrepresentation.
But the judge wasn't persuaded, ultimately denying the clean bond. In Atlanta, Chase Howell, 11 Alive News.
Right now, the case is set to go to trial. When that will be is unclear, but as soon as we get that information, we'll update you here and online.
Just over 3 years after an attack outside a downtown Sacramento nightclub, they claim the life of a beloved Sacramento high school football coach, I.G.G. Grimes, and left 4 others injured. The man convicted in that shooting learned his fate in court. Taj Michael has been sentenced to 25 years to life in prison for what happened that night. Fox 40's Christina Bautista was in that courtroom today and brings us the latest on what turned out to be, Christina, a very emotional sentencing day.
Eric, emotions ran high in the courthouse with 15 impact statements being read by family and friends of Grimes, all sharing the impact he had on their lives, but also the pain following his tragic passing.
Emotions ran deep inside the courtroom as loved ones of I.G.G. Grimes shared how his life and his loss changed theirs forever.
There are no words of wisdom that I can say to anybody that's in this room. And even if I had some words of wisdom, they would not outshine some of the words of wisdom that I heard today through some of your own victim impact statements.
Moved by the strength of those words, Judge Shauna Franklin sentenced Taj Michael to 25 years to life for the murder of Grimes and the shooting of 4 others.
So my first rhetorical question today was, what do you say to the man who murdered your son?
Grimes was Ittercombe High School's first student athlete to receive a Division I scholarship and had returned to help coach his alma mater. But he was much more than that. Off the field, he was a mentor, a leader, a cornerstone of his community. He was also an only child and a devoted father, leaving behind his young son, Ace, who just turned 8 years old yesterday.
Today, the Grimes family, his friends, family can start to heal from this terrible tragedy.
We can start to just continue Najee's legacy.
After the deadly shooting on July 4th, 2022, Taj Michael disappeared on the run for nearly 2 years. He was eventually found almost 3,000 miles away, thanks to a tip following an America's Most Wanted episode.
He was extradited back here just last year. It took 1 year and 3 months till we got to this day. That is swift, and we're very thankful for the epiphany that he experienced.
During sentencing, Michael turned to the Grimes family, taking full responsibility and acknowledging the pain he caused, saying he now lives with that pain every day. Words the Grimes family found genuine.
Absolutely, because he didn't have to make it. The deal was already done. He didn't have to make that statement.
To come together as a community to heal in this tragic moment. I leave to say that this is a moment where all our hearts need to mend. We pray. Amen.
Amen. For the Grimes family, the sentence doesn't erase the pain, but it offers a first step forward.
He gave us what we needed. He's put an end to this.
These past 3 years, this family has dedicated their time to educating the community on gun violence. They have also started a foundation in his honor, something they say that will continue on. In Sacramento, covering local news that matters, Christina Bautista, Fox 40 News.
It's happened again. Local officers ambushed, shot in the line of duty. This time, it's 2 officers in East Cleveland.
Incidents like these affect the community at large.
2 other victims killed. A manhunt leads to an arrest. 19 News with total team coverage on this senseless violence. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brian Duffy.
And I'm Nicole Versansky. Our crews are digging deeper into the terrible violence that is plaguing our streets. Our team coverage begins first at 4 with Brittany Weir.
We know that there have been 2 officers shot here in East Cleveland after an intense and very active day. Those officers, Joshua Durda and Brandon Hernandez, thankfully both in stable condition. And we just found out that Officer Hernandez should be released from the hospital in the next several hours. However, Officer Joshua Durder will be admitted to the hospital for the next several days. Now, this all started with a shooting when officers responded to a home on North Taylor Road last night around 11 p.m. for a domestic dispute. But as officers approached that home, they were immediately met with gunfire. The suspect started shooting and hit Officer Durda in the leg. He then ran and hid from police. But when officers the home, they found 2 people dead from gunshot wounds. About an hour and a half later, police heard more gunfire less than a half a mile away near Euclid Avenue. When officers approached the suspect, he started shooting again, hitting Officer Hernandez in the backside. After an hours-long manhunt, which included a lockdown of the neighborhood and nearly dozens of law enforcement agencies, the suspect was arrested behind Shaw High School.
Witnessed the male crossing a yard, crossing the street and running through a yard, and we kind of zeroed in on his location. He moved his location from that point, and we zeroed in on that second location, and that's when he was apprehended in the rear of Shaw High School.
And we continue to ask police when they'll be releasing the name of that suspect who shot these 2 officers. However, time and time again, they keep telling us this is an active investigation and they're not ready to share that information just yet. However, 19 News has confirmed through 2 of our sources that that shooter is in fact 24-year-old Aaron Sharp. Live in East Cleveland, Brittany Weir, 19 News.
Brittany, thank you. And our team coverage continues now. Last night's shooting, just another reminder for neighbors that something has to change. 19 News reporter Stephen Hernandez joining us live with more details on a community event really meant to bring peace, Stephen, to East Cleveland.
Thank you. While friends and family have been waiting for hours on this corner of Taylor and Terrence for more information on this shooting, community leaders are saying something has to change before others get hurt.
Every beef does not have to end by somebody carrying a casket.
That's Gregory Terrell, the founder of the Love Fest, an event set for August 30th later this month that hopes to encourage the younger generation and all East Clevelanders to find other means of conflict resolution that aren't violence. They say that the shooting last night in which 2 people were dead inside of a home in North Taylor Road is a prime example of that problem, and these incidents will continue to happen if these different types of peace aren't found. And it's something that the neighbors that we spoke to earlier today on the corner where this shooting happened seem to agree with. What goes through your mind when you hear something like that, you know, someone...
Like, I gotta move. We got to move.
This is East Cleveland, okay? Anybody know East Cleveland ain't surprised. If we were really that close-knit, this wouldn't have happened. Yeah, this wouldn't have happened.
An importance there, a reminder of trying to be close-knit. Also at this press conference were self-described former gang members that are now community activists will also try to encourage others to find that peaceful resolution process. And everywhere at 5 will share what they have to say. Live in East Cleveland, Stephen Hernandez, 19 News.
This is Eyewitness News with live breaking news.
And welcome to Eyewitness News at 5. If you were joining us on our ABC7 stream, you just saw a very dangerous pursuit come to an end off the 710 freeway. A white car it began with. They went under an underpass. Here we have some highlights of what has happened here. This is the white car that officers were initially pursuing, pulling some very dangerous maneuvers. And then at one point going under an overpass, the white car emerged with its door open and nobody inside, and a silver pickup truck emerged on the other side, and police began that pursuit.
Yeah, and this started as a burglary pursuit by LAPD. We know that we didn't have video of it, but we know that one of the person in the white car had thrown a box out at law enforcement. And this is what, Jory, this is what you were talking about earlier, where that person, you can see that door wide open. The person hopped out of the car, that car rolling, and that suspect hopping inside of that gray truck where there is another person that that driver joined. And then again, this pursuit continues, takes off again at
who either carjacked this truck or had it waiting for him, but went under the underpass. The truck emerged, and it was difficult to see. The car just continued to roll on with its door open that he was previously driving, and now looks like behind the wheel of this pickup truck, and pulling some very dangerous maneuvers, crossing over here, lanes of traffic at a high rate of speed. This has turned very dangerous very quickly, and I'm curious to see what law enforcement is going to do now, because the longer this goes, the more people are put at risk. And we're talking about high speeds. At least you can say now it's on a freeway where there won't be pedestrians out there. But still, other drivers are obviously put at risk, as we're hoping the signal comes back up from Air 7 onto the shoulder as we go under this interchange here on the shoulder again to get around these vehicles.
Yeah, you can see that this truck is just zipping by people here. When this started, we know that LAPD was in pursuit of a burglary suspect. We believe that that suspect got out of their car, hopped into this pickup truck, originally was driving a white car. And according to LAPD, they threw a large box out kind of towards law enforcement that were trailing them. CHP went on to say that it was a large box of tools. But again, all we know right now is that they were in pursuit of a burglary suspect that we do believe just hopped right in this truck, right out of that white car. And you can see going almost 100 miles per hour on this freeway, weaving in and out of lines, getting dangerously close to cars, and driving in opposite directions as well. It appears as though
This might be a through. Yeah, it's one of those exits that will put you right back on the 710. But again, it's only one lane, so we'll see what this person does. Onto the shoulder again. Very dangerous, going to remain on that shoulder as they go at high rates of speed and get back on that road surface. Oof. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Wow. That was a vehicle stopped on the side of the road, and this driver was able to barely get around them. There was a car in the right lane, yet again, just nearly avoiding disaster. Boy, this is really getting dangerous. Weaving in and out of traffic at a high rate of speed. And here we go again, clipping right between those two vehicles, between lanes 1 and 2, and just oh boy. Nearly clipping the back of that blue car. You know, this is a pickup truck. It's not going to maneuver like a smaller car, and we're seeing some lag in those moves that this driver is pulling. It's not moving as fast as I think that he wants it to, and we can see just how close this truck is coming to hitting some of those vehicles now onto the dirt road to get around here. We're at Firestone, and now looks like maybe stalling, stuck in the dirt here. This driver is not going to stick in this with a vest on. So with a glow, it looks like a worker's vest, and there are two people now just looking to slowly emerge, and police are on them now. It looks like, is that sheriff or CHP? So we have, looks like guns drawn, two people as they are now checking the pickup truck for more, and two people on the sidewalk look like they are giving up, both laying down on the sidewalk at Firestone Boulevard and Southgate in East LA. This is now thankfully over. We don't know. The driver had the vest on. The passenger is in the black and the gray. We don't know who was driving the white car before, but this leads you to believe maybe he had someone waiting for him in that pickup truck, bailed on the car, let it roll through that down the roadway, and got into the pickup truck. So now spread eagle on the ground here. It looks like the vehicle that truck has been cleared. There is some distance between these two, between the group of law enforcement and these two suspects, these two driver and passenger who are now on the ground. I'm sorry, guys. What are we doing here? Okay. We're getting ready for our 5 o'clock newscast. So at some point soon we will join that. But for now, we are streaming live on ABC 7 and our ABC 7 Los Angeles app as these officers are now moving in. It looks like LAPD, and they are moving in formation. Those lead two officers, I'm not sure if those are weapons or less lethal. It looks pretty large. Those look like tasers, perhaps. And they are approaching. Both men are on the ground, not moving, and are going to allow themselves to be handcuffed. So I guess best case scenario here, Sophie, is these two are now going to be placed under arrest with no injuries, it looks like, to any bystanders.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I mean, luckily, it was a close call for a while there, getting very close to other vehicles, getting close to people at one point, and also driving in the wrong direction, driving in the wrong lanes. So the fact that it ended this way is a little bit of relief, I'm sure, for these officers and other people that passed by them on the road. I mean, they were going upwards of 100 miles per hour as these officers were on this pursuit. And again, this started as a burglary pursuit. It's unclear exactly who they were originally after, right? It could be this person that we see in this black sweatshirt. It could be the person in that bright orange vest. But again, now law enforcement are going to have to look into both of them because this pursuit lasted for so long.
Right. And it says, we say carjacked here, carjacked silver truck. We're not entirely certain that that was the case. It could have been that one of these guys was waiting for the driver of that white car, went under an underpass. The driver of the car bailed and then got into the waiting truck. Or it could be the fact that there's two people makes me think that this was someone who was waiting for this driver rather than two people getting out of the car and then able to carjack a truck. Both of them get in because they were really under the underpass for less than 10 seconds. So that's a lot of time, a lot to transpire. It looks like Air 7 is dropping in altitude, trying to get a better angle of what's going on, or I wonder if we can get some word from Air 7 what is going on there. But we're coming up here on the top of the hour. So about 20 seconds, we're going to join this coverage on air. But this is happening, as you see, in front of a Target store. And we already saw some bystanders there watching this arrest take place. But very dangerous. But right now, we're just going to pause very quick for the start of our show coming up here at 5 o'clock on ABC 7.
Another deadly shooting is developing. News from this afternoon. Portsmouth police say a man shot and killed a woman early this morning on Decatur Street.
Police say that suspect later took his own life. Tonight, your side's Karina Garcia has been working to learn more about this case all day. Karina, what can you tell us?
Well, Tom and Asia, it's like you said, last night around 1:30 on Decatur Street, 32-year-old Kirsten Moore steps out to ask her neighbor, 33-year-old Larry Mitchell, if he can turn down the music. That's when things escalated and he shoots and kills Kirsten. Police say Mitchell shot and killed Kirsten, then got into his car and sped off to nearby Effingham Street. By the time officers caught up, Mitchell had crashed into a parked car. When officers approached the scene, they found him dead and discovered Mitchell had taken his own life.
Went up to my neighbors and my neighbor told me, she ain't told me nothing. She just looked at his house. I said, don't tell me she's gone.
You just heard from Uncle Lou, a close friend and neighbor who says Kirsten was a beautiful person.
She was everything. Like, she was so nice. She had so much talent. She was a great girl, hardworking lady, beautiful. She always used to go and check on me. Uncle Lou, how are you? You okay? She's a great girl, man. She didn't deserve this. She did not deserve this. Nobody in this block could complain about her.
He tells Wavy 10 he saw Kirsten speaking with Mitchell just before the shooting and wishes he had stopped.
Then when I came back, I saw her talking to the neighbor. I didn't want to bother her. I just kept driving. I did pass by again, but I didn't stop. I should have stopped. Maybe I could avoid all this.
And just a few blocks away on Effingham Street, neighbors there describe the scene as chaotic.
I thought they just hit the parked car on the side. But it's Portsmouth. They get real crazy out here all the time, literally all the time, every day.
Just an awful ending, and all because Kirsten was asking Mitchell to keep the noise down. For now, reporting live in Portsmouth, Karina Garcia, Tonight Your Side.
An arrest decades after a D.C. police officer was murdered. And the man, now in custody, is the same man charged in her death 30 years ago. 7 News' Josh Chapin is live now with the new reaction and the new evidence that led to this arrest.
Yeah, Scott, Dina's friends, that officer's friends, are relieved. One telling me she never gave up hope that justice would happen. The case given a second look by an MCPD homicide detective working back in the 90s who never forgot this case either.
I'm so emotional right now because I'm overwhelmed. I've been waiting for this closure.
For Dina Campbell's friends, Be it Vanessa Malloy, who grew up with her in D.C., she was also the last person to hear her voice that night in 1995.
I'm so relieved. It felt like a whole weight has been lifted off of me.
Or Juanita Egglestone, who befriended Dina when they were in the academy.
I believe justice, when it's going to be served, it's going to be served. So I'm just happy that we came to this point.
This was the long-awaited moment. The same can be said for 2 police departments.
It is clear that this case weighed heavily on the detectives working in Montgomery County Police Department as it did on our agency.
The one Dina put on the uniform for in NPD, along with Montgomery County. MCPD investigated the case back in the 90s and charged Dina's then-boyfriend, Kenneth Wansom, with murder, only for charges to be dropped 2 months later.
It's like a little bit of emotion and a little bit of peace for me.
Paula Hamill is a homicide detective for MCPD. Though she didn't investigate the case back then, she took a second look this time around and found new DNA evidence in an interview. Though it was known Campbell was fearful of Wansom, that interview suggests even more, that she was sleeping with her gun under her pillow. Campbell even telling a fellow officer, quote, "If I don't show up for work Saturday, you'll know he killed me and buried me somewhere."
I have been speaking to her father. I spoke to him yesterday, and the only words that he could get out were, "Thank God."
And that father certainly imagined relieved as well. We have pressed the state's attorney's office, Scott, for a motive, but they can't say at this point. Wansom was supposed to have a bond review hearing this afternoon, but that has been moved to next week. We'll be here for it every step of the way. Scott.
Well, new at 4. A big break in Orange County after a father is murdered in front of his family.
3 years later, investigators say a felon in prison for drug trafficking hired the hitman for that shooting. West News' Justin Shacker read through the new court documents. He's live outside the Ocoee Police Department. Justin, police say they identified a clear motive for this murder.
And Stuart, this 9-page affidavit describes in detail the Ocoee police investigation. Investigators say Samuel Wright did not want the victim to testify against him in a drug trafficking case, so he hired a hitman right before the start of the trial. Already serving a 22-year prison sentence in the Florida Department of Corrections, 37-year-old Samuel Wright is now facing new first-degree murder charges in Orange County. The murder of Mujim Pintar happened 3 years ago in the Ocoee neighborhood.
He was shot while he was at home. He was at the home with his children and his wife, and it's just a heinous crime.
Police say a masked man shot the father twice in the head at his front door on May 15, 2022, the day before the scheduled start of Wright's drug trafficking trial. According to the affidavit for Wright's arrest, law enforcement learned that approximately a year prior to Pintar's murder, Wright was desperately looking to hire someone who would kill Pintar in exchange for money. The reason for the murder, to prevent Pintar from testifying against Wright in the trial. Pintar was the state's key witness, having helped the Metropolitan Bureau of Investigations in its large-scale drug trafficking investigation targeting Wright that led to his arrest in May 2020. According to court documents, Wright allegedly paid Jamarcus Lane $40,000 for the hit on Pintar. Orlando police arrested Lane 2 days after Pintar was shot for unrelated felony warrants. When that happened, officers seized more than $37,000 in cash in $1,000 increments. Starting in February 2024, after a confidential source came forward with info on Pintar's murder, investigators began listening to Wright's phone calls in prison, including on his contraband cell phones. The Ocoee detective writes, during intercepted and recorded calls, Wright talked freely in street-coded language about the planning, execution, and the person hired to commit the act of shooting Pintar. And in the last 30 minutes, Wright made his first appearance on these new murder charges before a judge here in Orange County. The judge told him he'll have another hearing in 5 days, and then he's going back to prison. Covering Orange County Live in Ocoee, I'm Justin Shecker, WESH 2 News.
All right, folks, do you live in the area?
Yeah. Yeah.
And tell me, what's your reaction to this shooting? We heard a 33-year-old male was fatally shot here. What's your reaction?
Nah, that's crazy for real. Seriously, like, I don't know what to tell you. Whoever that was, rest in peace. I hope he's safe. I hope he didn't pass away for real. That ass.
I think I know the guy. This is actually the smoke shop I go to. I'm 21, by the way.
So it's a smoke shop?
Yeah.
This is a smoke shop I go to. We were literally just here.
Yo, that was right at the corner store right there getting drinks.
Right before getting ice cups.
Word.
And we was right here. Then I went to Fine Fair. I come back and I was like, what happened? There was mad police and it's crazy out here.
It is crazy. It really is. It's not safe out here. Y'all be careful for real.
Word.
Nah.
How often you know the shootings in the area?
It's not that much.
I got the Citizen app. It be ringing every day.
No, for real.
Ringing every day.
But it don't really be that too much shootings over here for real.
Not that I've ever seen it. Like I've seen it on the news.
This is too close. It's too local.
Word. I don't like that.
I worry about your safety around here.
Honestly, after this, because I don't like to see blood, I'm very worried. Like I don't think I ever want to go here no more.
I don't even want to walk on this block for real.
Word.
Now this shop says gift shop, but you're saying it's a smoke shop. Can you tell me more about that?
That's the gift. The smoke.
Right, that's the gift for real.
You lying.
God. Nah, rest in peace. I send my condolences to his family for real, because that's wild.
I know who it was. I literally seen him the other day. I went in there. I needed to throw something out. He was showing me the trash and getting his hair braided. I literally saw him. That was like.
So you know who it is?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't thoroughly know him like that, but like we see him for real. Like we see him a lot, like in front of the
hanging
spot.
out in front of the thing. I've seen him listening to like music, hanging out with his friends. He'd be in the shop.
He really just be chilling
Yeah,
for real.
like he don't. I never seen him in an actual problem.
Right. So
He's
whoever
very
did it,
calm and chill all the time.
nah, whoever did it, that's wild.
Very calm to himself.
Yeah,
like
he
don't
be by
bother
himself.
no one.
Really, just be chilling.
Every time I go in there, he's like greeting. He be nice. Like there's never no issue.
Thank you so much, guys. Did you want to give your name and can you spell it?
Nah, I don't want my name, but I'll give you my Insta. Yo, y'all make sure y'all go follow XO_Shani_. Y'all go follow that.
Word, Just Gen V.
Sorry, last time I wanted to ask was like, you know the guy he worked with the store, or he just somebody who hung out?
He just be hanging out with his friends in front of the store.
I'm not sure if he works there. I always thought he does because I've seen him there so much, especially in the back. But I think so. I'm not too sure.
But I think he just be hanging out with his friends for real. Like, you know, it's just a chill spot for real. It's a store.
I be seeing them. They're like there's like a stand, a food stand somewhere over here, and they be having the beach chairs right here.
They just be
just
chilling.
talking.
They really be chilling for
just
real.
playing music and stuff like that. So I feel bad for his friends that always be chilling with him over here.
Right.
That's so sad.
Thanks again. Did you want to give your name and can you spell it?
It's Just Gen V on Instagram. JUST J. Why are you laughing? JENNIFERV. That's it.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.